This is going to be a fun episode. I'm going to go over a map of Phnom Penh and tell you a little bit about each of those areas, and kind of answers at the same time that question of, is Cambodia safe? Is Phnom Penh safe? I can tell you some of the things that go down in some of the different areas. So let's jump in. Pulling up my map here because this will be a nice visual way for you to see the city. One thing to know is right now I'm using Google Maps, but Google Maps is not always accurate. And so there have been definitely times, especially a few years ago, where I would just be led along these roads that lead to nowhere. And sometimes the fastest route on Google is not truly the fastest route. All right, let's show you a little map here. So this is Phnom Penh, and this is where the airport is located, and this is the Tonle. So this is like the Mekong River and the Tonle Sap River meet. And so this is where the Royal Palace is, and it's pretty significant. Up here, I believe we have Wat Phnom itself, which is where the story of Phnom Penh comes from. And so this is our central area. And right now the city is expanding quite a bit up north and quite a bit down south. So they're putting in a new airport somewhere around here. So that's going to keep the city expanding southward. And they're building a whole bunch of government offices up north. So that'll keep everything moving up north. These are some of the major highways. Plau Chit Lake Mui, so National Highway 1. Plau Chit Lake B, National Highway 2. And 3 going down to Kampot, 4 going out here to Sihanoukville. You can see this kind of curvy road here, and that is the Plau Laboon Loon, so the first freeway in Cambodia. No tuk-tuks are allowed, no regular moto scooters are allowed either. I believe some of the big motos might be allowed, but I do not know for sure, and rules are changing all the time. And it's Cambodia, so sometimes there's a rule, and sometimes it's followed, and sometimes it's not. Well, I guess like any country, really, but it's all comparable. Some other big landmarks are the malls. So we've got Aeon Mall here, the second one. The first one was out here, and the third one is along Plau Hoxet Mate right here. So let's jump in to the core city, and I'll tell you about some of those parts. Oh, a slow zoom here. Slow zoom. Okay. Silk Island is up here a bit, which is a nice tourist space to look, and it's kind of quiet, village-like as well. So that's up there. All right, so this is the National Olympic Stadium, a fantastic place to exercise. You could park your moto probably for about 25 cents. You can go work out there, walk the track, etc. There are certain places that you cannot drive your moto in, so just be careful. Park on the outside, and great place. Now they have a mall there, the Olympic Mall, and there's also like condos that they're building there as well. This is where Viminai Krek is, which is the Independence Monument. So there's a long park there that's nice to walk at. And I think it's the Vietnamese Khmer Friendship Monument is up here. And this is a nice open park to walk at as well. This is the Royal Palace. Walking along the riverside here is nice. There are a lot of like nightclubs and bars and things along the riverside. And a lot of sketch things go down there. So I try to avoid it. The main places you see tourists are here at the riverside and in Tultumpong, which is the Russian market area. I also see a lot of foreigners here in BKK, Bung King Kong, and Bung is the word for lake. So there used to be a lake there, not anymore. And so these are the 3 most common places, and that's where the 3 most common places you're gonna get like petty theft. I've had a lot of people that I know get their phone snatched or bags snatched in those areas. So just be careful, especially at the nightclub scene. Just beware, because if someone's drunk, you might end up without your wallet. This is Koh Pik, which Koh is the word for island. Of course, I'm not pronouncing it perfectly. And Pik is the word for diamond. So this is Diamond Island. And there's actually a really cool park that went in pretty recently, Coconut Park there. And I think Dip Club is another kind of cool location that has a pool, free swimming if you buy a drink or something over $3 or something like that. That's a really nice place to swim. There's also like this quiet pond that not too many foreigners know about. So it's a nice place. I see a lot of Khmer youngins hanging out there. It's nice in the evening, and this road is really quiet. Kind of looks out over the river, and I enjoy walking there with my wife. And the bores here are pretty nice, so it's nice to kind of walk around there and right by the river. And I think they have a lot of pop-up booths that are going in around there. There's a lot of places to eat there, but usually pretty pricey. Again, a nice place to walk. I wouldn't recommend eating there unless it's like one of the pop-up stands or something like that. Naga World is like the big casino, even though like gambling's illegal. Like, I guess a casino is fine. Yeah, kind of like we said about rules in Cambodia. And this is Aeon, the kind of the first big major mall. Of course, there's definitely, I mean, there's many malls before Aeon, but Aeon was definitely the biggest, and you'll find that kind of changed the mall scene here in Cambodia. And now there's 3 different locations, and now Chipmong is another development company who is making malls. All right, so we've got this is the Tonle Basak area. Tonle Basak, there's some kind of nice restaurants and eateries around that area. So that's a good place to check out. And kind of some of these side streets, there can be some nice street food places worth checking out. Of course, Riverside has a lot of foreigner food on the more expensive side, maybe cheap relative to whatever country you come from. But burgers being like $5 to $7 and upward, which might seem cheap, but is pretty expensive here because you could get a meal on the street, like a good meal, some nice fish and some with some mango and rice for like less than $2.50 a month. So I would say that yeah, it's pretty pricey. BKK is another place. There's a lot of restaurants, and I knew a lot of foreigner friends that would eat there all the time. Definitely a lot of options, a lot of different foods from all over the world. So it's nice if Black and I are going on a date. This is a nice spot and lots of food to choose from. Same thing with Tultumpung, really. I'd say the prices are better here, and you see a lot of people who are living here long term around the Tultumpung area. So you've got a nice combination of variety and price, and it's, in terms of safety, I mean, I've walked these streets at night. It's not a big deal. It's hard to know where it would be like totally unsafe, but there are some strange things that go down in the Stoneman J area, and I lived there for a time. We were doing ministry with Urban Poor, and that was great, but definitely some sketch things that go down, fights would break out, and so there can be some rougher areas of that. Now, that's not the whole area, and you can't summarize that whole area. And really during the day, it's really fine. It's just if you're in a lot of the back streets at night, and a lot of times they're not going to mess with you. But this is just stuff that's going on maybe in that community. Stoneman J, there's a lot of traffic on that road oftentimes, and a lot of development. So it just feels like building after building. Like, where are the trees? And this is the Bang Tumpon area, and this is Plau Hoc Sap Mate, or 60-meter road, or they call it Hun Sen Boulevard, but this is like really developing. And back in the day, this was just large ponds with produce being grown in them, and just beautiful. The stars were beautiful there too, but that is very much a part of the city now, and that's a pretty big road, so be careful if you're driving along it. This is Takamau. And this is actually, the Prime Minister has a residence down here in a nice private golf course. So this place is actually pretty expensive and pretty nice, and it's kind of out of the city. And with the new airport coming in, all that land just went up majorly in value. And up here is Tulkot. Tulkot used to have a really bad reputation. Sure, there's some sketch things that still go on there as well, but really, that is no longer its reputation. It's really known for this large antenna that is there, and it's right there, and it's still there to this day. But it used to be the tallest thing around, and you could see it from wherever. Of course, that's not the case now, but it's kind of cool that it still has that design where you can see all the streets are kind of spiraling around or wagon wheeling around the antenna. So pretty nice residences here, some big villas, and pretty quiet. So that's a nice place to walk, and definitely quite safe at night. Then we've got the new development of Sen Sok. So this is Phnom Penh Tamai. Now, to me, I don't think there's anything Tamai. Tamai means new, so it's like the new Phnom Penh. Doesn't really seem like there's much new about it, other than it's recently built, more recently than some of the older structures in Phnom Penh. But I mean, really, we still have the small roads. We still have, I think, a lot of the same kind of copy paste stuff. I would think like new Phnom Penh might have sidewalks like Phnom Penh did back in the day, and some more detailed street planning. But maybe at some point, and maybe that's what they're planning on doing in Takhamau. Maybe that's what they're planning on doing up north. So it'll eventually happen. But that's called Phnom Penh Tamai. And this is the airport, of course, and the traffic can be pretty bad along that road at times. I hope that solves it. Oh, across this bridge, this is Spian Monivong. Spian is the word for bridge. Monivong is kind of that area. And this goes out to a place called Kin Svai, which is really, really nice if you want to eat by the river. And there's some really nice, like, traditional huts that you can kind of go out there, pop down a kateo, and eat some food with that beautiful view of the Mekong River. This is the Pasak River, and then the Tonle Sap, I think, comes up right here. Yeah, the Tonle Sap. So this is, sometimes they call it the four-way river. And if you cross the river, you can take a ferry over the other side. This is Erik Site. And so this is all really developing, but a few years ago, it wasn't nearly as developed, but there's a lot of really nice places to chill and eat there and explore around, and definitely worth taking a look. And they're just expanding the city there, but that's pretty nice. So that's a little tour of the city, and hopefully you have a chance to check out some of that. That being said, I'll catch you in the next episode. Breve tiempo.